Here at Bristol, the race has been halted on lap number 458. And so the cars are down between turns 1 and 2. Some of them have been covered up, protecting them. The leader of the race right now is Davey Allison. Here's Dr. Punch.
Well, indeed, the leader right now, the defending champion of the Valleydale Meats 500. And Davey, that last restart, that could have been what gave you the win. What happened? Do you think Ernie might have missed a shift, or did you just catch him going into one?
No, I was on cooler tires, fresher tires than Ernie was, and I think he spun the wheels a little bit coming off the 4 over there. When it did, it just gave me a jump, you know. We've been racing hard. And car's driving really good, though. I got to hand it to Larry McReynolds, all the guys on the crew. They've worked really hard all day making the adjustments that I've asked for. And, you know, we've just been right in the hunt all day long.
It has been a difficult day from the top to the bottom of the field. Contact almost every lap.
Well, you know, this restart stuff has been a mess, and, you know, we've got to do something different. We've got to do something different because it's just getting... Look at all the torn-up race cars around here.
What happened over there? You and Darrell Waltrip, and you were penalized, put in the rear. What actually went on out there?
Well, see, when you're Darrell Waltrip, you can get away with that kind of stuff, and all you got to do is look at the side of my race car right here. That's coming off of turn 2 and going into turn 3 with me on the outside. And we got down there, and I still had momentum up. I raced him. I went ahead and raced him. We come off the corner over there. He jumps up in front of me and backs out of the gas. And there wasn't nothing I could do. When I hit him, you know, then he comes over here mouthing off at me. But when you're Darrell Waltrip, it's okay, but anybody else, you're not.
Davey Allison obviously upset, but if it continues to rain, there's going to be a smile on this young man's face. Let's go over to John Kernan, who's standing by with Darrell Waltrip.
Well, we've heard from Davey now. Let's talk to Darrell, his version of what happened out there that ended up Davey getting penalized.
Well, I'm really happy that he got penalized. He needed to be penalized, and he just spun me out. You know, it's tough out there today, and you have to use all the judgments you got, and you have to be careful, and you don't run into somebody and knock fire out of them on purpose. And he's had a little bit of a problem with me, and I don't know what it is. He gave me a finger last week down at Darlington. When I was laps down, I passed him, had 4 tires, and went on. Today he spun me out. We're going to have a little talk, I guess, father and son type.
Well, aside from that, I heard you telling someone else you got hit 9 times. It just seemed that everybody was a little bit over-anxious out there, a little too impatient.
The pit rules have got everybody so frustrated right now that you just have to do stupid things. You get hung up on the outside. I've got a fast race car. I need to be up front. I'm hung up on the outside every time, and I get booted up in that loose stuff, and you either hit the wall or run over somebody or wreck. And so this is the hardest mentally race I believe I have ever tried to run. I started 22nd. I'm pitting on the back straightaway. That's bad enough, and then the pit rule just makes it worse. So I just pray to God that they'll get this thing straightened out. It is killing a lot of us.
But you were able to come to the front and move into the top 5, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd be able to lap the field if I could get up there where I belong.
Thank you very much, Darrell. Gentlemen?
Yeah, he is shown in 5th position right now on the red flag. Let's go to Jerry, who's with Ernie.
Well, a man who probably doesn't believe it's raining at all right now is Ernie Irvan. And Ernie, that last restart might have cost you.
Yeah, it sure did. I missed a shift on it and got behind him. We were way faster than he was, but, you know, with the new pit rules and the way they line us up on the racetrack, the guy that's running second actually is in the lead as far as I'm concerned, and that just doesn't seem right.
A lot of contact out there. Did you think that possibly there may be some frustration among the drivers among the first 4 or 5 events of the year not being able to really push the cars and race?
Well, I think a lot of it is just, you know, these deals where we're lining up side by side, and it's a give-and-take deal. Well, nobody wants to give. It's hard to do that, you know.
Ernie, your car awfully strong. The tires, if we can get it restarted, do you think you got a shot at it?
Definitely. We got the quickest car on the racetrack, you know, besides maybe Buster.
Ernie Irvan, very confident here. Ernie, let you get out of the rain, and let's go up to John Kernan.
Jerry, I'm standing here with Ricky Rudd. And Ricky, it's been a wild afternoon out there today. A lot of guys, a lot of beating and banging, maybe a little bit more than usual here at Bristol.
Well, you know, it's definitely a wild race. It's going from one extreme to the other, I guess, in just a matter of a week's time. But, you know, it's tied Exxon, EDS, Chevrolet. It's run good for us all day. We won the $20,000 lap. Our car's just a little bit too tight. As the sun started to set a little bit and clouds came in, my car tightened up. If I could free it up again, I think I can get back out front.
So you need to do some work to the car if you do get this race restarted?
Well, we just need to loosen the chassis up, and then that's the big gamble. If we do get restarted, can we come into pits and do our work and get back out with just a few laps remaining? I don't know what's going to be the best way to go. But like I say, earlier in the day, the car worked real good. Now it's just too tight, and you know, as bad as we like to win, we just soon come out of here with a complete race car, and which in itself will be an accomplishment, and settle for third and go on and keep the points lead.
Yeah, I was started to say with the points lead right now, first time in your career that you have led it. Right now, you're going to add a little bit to that because of the problems that Earnhardt had today. Say the race ends. Do you have the consistency to go on the rest of the year? I know you do have a lot of experience on that team.
Well, I think we're consistent. You know, Earnhardt is consistently fast everywhere he goes. He doesn't really have too many weak points. We've probably got a few more weaker tracks than he's got, so we can use all the advantage we can get with accidents and so on. We don't want to win it that way, but we're going to run as hard as we can run, and as we go on, as Hendricks Motorsports Chevrolet becomes more competitive every week. We're used to working with Valleydale, and those guys are putting a better car under me each week. So as the season goes on, I'd love to have as many points leads, as many padded points as I can get, but we'll just wait and see. Right now we're averaging about 4.6. The championship's going to be average. Finish will be about an 8.3. So we hope not, but we're probably due for some bad luck down the road.
Well, you never know how luck falls in this place, gentlemen. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, thank you. Now the point standings coming into this race showed Ricky Rudd with an 80-point advantage on Dale Earnhardt, with Ernie Irvan in third, and then Ken Schrader and Sterling Marlin. If we do not resume this race, Ricky Rudd will have a 129-point edge on Ernie Irvan, who will move to second in points, and Dale Earnhardt will fall to third. The reason that Dale Earnhardt will fall to third position is because of this crash that he was involved in very early in the going.
There we see Dale going turn one, and just all of a sudden the car gets out from under him. He said there's some oil down in turn one. He got into, the car spun, goes up and backs in the fence. I don't think the car's hurt too bad until Sterling Marlin comes along and finishes the job. He backs in the front of Dale's car, and they worked on the Dale Earnhardt car, but he still is, he's now 20th spot. He's 14 laps behind.
And fourth in the points, if we do not resume, Mark Martin. And here's Jerry.
Well, Mark Martin, you may have struggled a little bit early on, but whatever you guys have been working on with the car these last 150 laps or so, you've got it dialed in. The car seems to be running pretty well for you.
Well, the Folgers team has just been awesome in the pits. They were incredible. We passed a lot of cars during our pit stop. The car performed well all day. I couldn't really complain about it. It's a little tight, a little loose, but we got into two different wrecks and had to go to the back. That really cost us, and it took a long time to make that up and still have a race car left at the end. There's so many cars that got tore up and everything. I mean, you had to pick your way through. So overcoming going to the rear twice, I'm pretty proud of the guys, the Folgers guys. Just a little bit of help, and we could have took that thing to victory lane.
Is it biorhythms or what? I mean, it seems like you've turned things totally around since Darlington.
Real funny, because we hadn't done one thing different. Same cars, same springs and shocks and weights and everything. Everything, I don't think we're doing a darn thing different, but, it had to turn around because, that's the way we've been doing it for 3 years, and it's been working. So, now it's working again. I don't know what the difference is.
Well, I think hard work does indeed pay off, and it's showing today for this Folgers team. Let's go to John Kernan.
Standing here with Jimmy Spencer, who has made up, I'm told, 2.5 laps today to get back on the lead lap. And as we pull in here for the red flag, sitting in 6th position, you got to feel pretty good about that effort.
We really do, John. We were running third, and I made a big mistake getting in the corner. It was starting to rain. I figured, boy, I could really hustle the race car and get it up there and win the race. It didn't work out. The Bank of Frozen Foods cars ran good this year, and, if we could get by there with a top 10 finish, that's important right now.
A lot of beating and banging out there. Did you get the feeling that a lot of people were a little too impatient today with those double file restarts?
I'm going to tell you what, that pit rule isn't a bad deal, I guess, on super speedway, things like that. But, NASCAR's trying real hard to get this thing worked out, put the racing back in the pits for the fans. I think they got that. I think they saw a heck of a race today. And that's important, and I know the fans here are yaying and clapping, so that's important. And I credit NASCAR for what they're doing. We'll just have to see what happens next week.
Jimmy Spencer moved up after being 2.5 laps down, is now 6th. Also someone with a good run today, Ted Musgrave, and he is standing around with Jerry Punch.
Well, John, they got to be smiling in Franklin, Wisconsin. That's Ted Musgrave's home, and of course they knew he could drive a race car because he was awesome for years on the ARTCO circuit and the ASA circuit. And Ted, all I can say is congratulations on a tremendous run so far.
Oh, thank you. The U.S. Racing Alka-Seltzer Pontiac's running real good here today. It kind of reminds me of a home track called Slinger, and on the ASA circuit, Winchester, Salem. Mark knew how to get around it, Martin, and he taught me a lot on these high banks, and I'll tell you, the car's really working good today.
Maybe it's an omen. Remember, there was a guy named Irvan, I believe, Ernie Irvan, who ran for DK Ulrich here a couple of years ago and ran pretty well, and it sent his career spiraling upward.
Yeah, actually, Ernie's been a lot of help to me. You know, he's helped me as far as getting around the racetracks, any inside information I need, and